Greetings, everyone. Welcome back. This is Battery H, and we are here for more Eating Crow. We've just finished up turn 20, so we're actually a third of the way through the scenario. We have 1 out of 2 trade routes. We're almost through to cartography. Pastoral leases are going to allow us to gain some gold quite quickly. So we're going to gain production and food from adjacent pastures and Outback Station tiles. So we'll be able to do quite a bit of things here. Requires AL services where we can get the production bonus, and yeah, so that's good. Let's take a look what other units need orders. Okay, we need to get a pasture built here. And again, we don't have but 1 turn left for pastoral levies, so we're going to wait on that just a moment. And he doesn't need to run off anywhere. We'll move him over there and grab some marble. And our farmer's moving over as well. Okay, unit needs orders. That is our explorer. Now remember, he can't gain any health until he gets back to a city, so we'll start moving him that way. We ate the wrong berries. Our explorer's lost 2 movement points for this turn. Isn't that... Ugh. But we have made the Outback a little safer. And more territory if they receive beneficial Outback. And yeah, okay, cool. And we've got our pastoral bits, so we can now gain 2 extra build actions, get our grazers going, and start doing that. So we're going to use that. That'll give our newly confirmed our cattle folk here the ability to do something along the neighborhood of maybe up to 6 builds. I'm not quite sure. So we can get that Outback Station built. Okay, let's take a look at what this offers now. As you can see, we now have more food, and the additional gold will help. Again, we need to get our cities as populated as quickly as possible in order to start doing those kinds of things. So we'll move that over there and use the 3 turns. We can choose our research here. Things like flight. So down here, 7 turns. After we gain engineering, build 2 quarries. That shouldn't be a problem here real quickly. I think we've already got 1, and we'll choose our next civic. Conservation and urbanization. That gives us stuff there. So I think drama and poetry, we can get that, and then we can get our federation and really start to receive some benefits. Okay, we're going to get a new settler, and we now have the ability to build some new things here. I want to get that grazier built quickly, and we're going to get him off to mining some gold. And we have a new settler as well. We'll start moving him in towards the center of the Outback, and maybe we can find something along over here that'll do us some good. Okay, so we've gotten education boosted with Eureka's and need more amenities. Mount Gambier needs more amenities to keep it productive. That's interesting. So we can build a lighthouse, which would give us additional gold, and a shipyard or a prospector. Yeah, I think what we need to do here is get this. And this is our other. Okay, we now have an explorer. I think the lighthouse is a good thing to have. Change production over here in Mount Gambier. A shipyard is going to take an awful lot of time. But I think a grazier will do some good here. We can start getting some more Outback stations built along the way. That's where the race is going to be, I think. A farmer to start with, and we're just going to let this explorer rest for just a bit here, I think. Okay, now what can we get? 6 from gold districts, 6 from gold districts, food and things here. Yeah, we'll do that and get our bit toward banking has worked. We're now doing better there. Stampeding camels, abandoned by early colonists, they've gone feral. Your settlers permanently lost 1 movement. Oh, that's nice. Trampled, blinded by dormitory spittle. Morale low. Okay, so we can now build a theater square, an art museum, which gives us additional culture and amphitheaters and all those wonderful things. We don't want to change any policies at this point. What we do want to do is get a look at our civics tree here. Conservation is at 3 turns. Can we have a gold per turn of 30? We're not sure just yet. Probably we could muster that up for a turn, but I would rather not do that till a couple turns in, just to change things up a bit. Okay, we've got a prospector up here. A farmer is going to come in handy, I think. We'll probably do some chopping down of those jungle spots as well. Let's take a look and manage our citizenry here. Although you do see it does offer a lot of food and production. Those bananas will offer even more food here shortly. As we start to get just about everything we need here. We've got our quarries built. Engineering won't take long, and then we'll be able to draw water over for additional housing if we need it. Settlers permanently gain +1 movement. Outstanding. Okay, industrialization's been boosted. Okay, that's our explorers back together again with everything he needs. And I think we're going to send him up and see what we can find up here to the north. There's some silver, some milk, some coal. And where's our new production is in Adalio. We could do a theater square, obviously that would be nice. +2 production to the adjacency gold bonus of its district. Build that. That'll allow us to build a culture bomb, which is kind of nice because what that does is Melbourne, Perth, and Fremantle. Yeah, and then even more importantly, that'll give us a road there and give us 2 trading posts. Yes. Okay, more mining. He's got a mine built there. Again, something that would create a road, not a bad thing to have. Having these trading routes, and we can get them back in time, hopefully, to get something that'll bring in some cash here shortly. The explorers suffer 28 damage. Oh.
We have recently gained advanced knowledge in city planning. Creating districts in our cities can be much more powerful than...
Yes, we can now build engineering and an aqueduct. Yay! Cost 50 production, a source of fresh water from an adjacent river or lake. Oasis or mountains. Mountains. Interesting. Cities that do not have existing fresh water receive up to 6 housing. Units that already have fresh water instead get +2 housing must be built adjacent to the city center. So there you go. Now we need to get banking, which will have 2 turns because we've maintained 2 trade routes. Will allow us to build a commercial hub, get money from rivers and harbors, and gold from every 2 adjacent district tiles. Citizen yields per citizen an additional 4 gold. You can start doing things like building banks and markets, all which produce a cart ton of gold, which is something we're going to have to do very quickly here. Okay, we've got 2 of these left, so let's get him on that. We've got this one here to give him jumping on that bad boy. And we're now ready to start really taking a look at can we make an adjustment here? So let's go to 16.8. That gets us to 25. and 33, and so this should boost us, so now our federation will happen next turn. I should have done this one turn earlier, but that's okay. So here's our Australian explorer. Ooh, look at that. There's copper, bonus resources up here, copper, coal, cattle, and silver. All very good things, and you've got some wheat around here. We're nearby a river. You've got an oasis nearby. That looks like the perfect place for a settlement up there, folks. We're going to have to grow it quickly, though, because we're starting to run a little low. Okay, dispute with rival explorers. Many were keen to claim the findings for themselves. The explorer lost 2 movement points for the turn. Eventually reached agreement for shared naming rights. We moved into the modern era. So we now have inspiration. Our native-born Americans clamor for their own nation independent from Britain. We now have an unlocked new government. Okay, government unlocked. So let's take the new government, confirm the switch, and take the new state policies. 6 gold from international trade routes. +1 food and +1 production from domestic trade routes, which is what we have right now. We will trade up to this Trans-Australian railway once we start moving our units and trade units to the other stuff. Graziers and prospectors. I think what we're going to do now is move and get our farmers into the action there so we can do with less, right? Do more with less, which is going to be the namesake. The Great War gives us AIF training, troops for overseas deployment for the World War. Completing it, the city provides a 10% boost to that city's gold per turn. Interesting. Okay, that's 135 turns from now. Are you kidding me? Oh, 2,500 culture. Okay, wow. So you don't really expect to see the end of that, do you? Yeah, we're not producing culture in nearly enough.
What a grand sight this must present in the wet season. Waterfalls in every direction.
Outstanding. Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna run some settlers over this way here. I'm thinking maybe like right here even. More settlers indeed. And I think what we're going to do is run him through the coastline and around that way. Roads upgraded, modern roads unlocked, upgrading all roads in your territory. Half a movement per point regardless of. We haven't been doing a lot of trade within the colony, so we haven't done a lot of roads. But you're starting to see them form now, which is a good thing. Victoria's Bartle Harbor and Melbourne. We now have unlocked the banking tech, which is outstanding. And our new research is going to be, let's see here. Education gives us properties. Industrialization allows the building quickly. Flight is going to be a good thing because we need to get that. So 125 science to boost to have the Great War Civic. Not going to happen. Apparently, we're sitting this particular war out. Okay, aqueduct, amphitheater, commercial hub. Population 7 or greater. How soon till we... One turn till growth. Choose production. Watermill 3. Rice and wheat resources get +1 food and must be adjacent to a river. We have neither of those items until we get the rice up here. And while that's all nice and dandy, none of this does us any good. Art museum is great. Blah blah blah. We need something that's short and sweet. That might bring in a little bit of money. Or the other option is, of course, to go full farmer. Okay, and over here, oh yes, we're building we'll have an additional 5 gold per turn coming in through there. And I think what we need to do now is get this off the gold, get him on the growth again. I'm not so worried about the growth of these things here because we do have plenty of. See, we could do some purchasing here, couldn't we? We could purchase that shipyard. But we can't purchase farmer. Yes. That's a good thing. I like that. Okay. So we've got a farmer here who's about to go over here and make a plantation. Um, we'll start sailing all the way around the coastline. And choose our production here, commercial hub. Again, we need to get something that would be excellent. Yep. And destroy the rainforest on the tile, that's fine. We've got plenty of other goodies there. The other thing I want to do is maximize production and food. So we've got 7 turns till growth, 4 turns till we get the new facility. When we get the new facility, it drops a culture bomb, which is good for us in oh so many ways. We're going to get him building another Outback station for us. The more we have of those, the merrier. Just kind of clearing out and seeing the spaces that we have available. And we'll move there and build a plantation. And as you can see, our citizenry is working on growing people, not gold. But that gets us also a science, which would not be such a bad idea, I guess. But no culture. Change production in Motora. Hub. A lot of plus ones, not a lot of plus anything else. But yes, we want to gain as much commercial help as possible. We've reached the halfway point of the game. Now looky here. This is interesting. One more turn, maybe two here quickly. Needs orders. Our prospector doesn't really have anywhere to go at the moment until that culture bomb gets triggered.
This Earth is a gift, and it is important that we protect it. I recommend we establish a national park. It may even attract tourists.
So we've got our conservation bit. We're good on our policies, I think. We're going to choose another civic. And this one is going to be urbanization. We don't have a city quite there just yet, but we'll see. We might get some more help. 98 turns away from the Great War. Again, simply not going to happen. Do something very unusual. We're going to build a city here. And we're going to get a harbor off the bat. The other thing we're going to do is use our money to purchase a fisher. And then we'll be able to start getting some of these fish and bonus resources taken care of, and I don't know, we'll see where we go from there. Okay, so our plantation is built. This one is built as well. Let's go get ourselves the cotton luxuries, and this will take care of all of our luxury issues, I think, with our cities. Yeah, we've still got 5 builds left here. So Montuya is a city of 3. He really needs food. He just doesn't know how badly he needs food, does he? And as you can see, we are building a whole lot of food and a whole lot of people in a whole lot of hurry. Okay. Tumawumba. Tuwumba. Yeah, that's what it is. Aussies, I'm sorry, I butcher my own language. I live in Louisiana. What did you expect? Okay, so now we've got 2 turns to growth. I think that all looks good. And he isn't going anywhere. And he's going to build a lot more food. And I think that's going to be all for this episode. We've managed to squeeze through turn 32, so we're a little past halfway. About on track as things get more complex and we have more units and doing more things and checking more cities. Of course, it's going to get more complex. Uh, so we will see where we're at next time. Uh, I hope you've all enjoyed watching this as much as I've enjoyed playing and making it for you. You can find my Twitch and Twitter links in the description down below. Please consider subscribing, giving us a thumbs up. Those things mean far more than you know. We'll be back next week with another episode of Eating Crow. Until then, everybody, go make some history of your own.